Hello, Ed 728. This is a quick video, hopefully about 15 minutes, that should kind of introduce some of the tools and places to find things on this website. If you found this website, you have already accomplished the first step. It was an assignment in eSpire. I had to attach a 1-point grade in order for it to even load there. So hopefully you have our web page and you are watching this video from that web page. A couple of things. The web page has down the left side links that you'll need to follow throughout the course instruction. So as an online course, most of the learning is completely up to you. Your assignments are going to be weekly discussions, and since we're not meeting 4 hours a week in face-to-face, there are certain things that we have to show that the learning is occurring outside of the classroom. And so your discussion posts are Wednesday nights and Sunday nights, and that will take up some of the 4 hours of our meeting time. There's also, at a graduate level, there's significant research and reading, but I've tried to make some of that choice and personalized to what maybe you're interested in, or provide quite a bit of resources that you can choose from to accomplish the learning goals. So on the web page, there are links that you can go through. I started teaching this course a couple years ago, and when I first started, my husband also taught a section of it because there were 38 graduate students last year that were taking the course, and it was too many to handle for one person. So that's our information, and my educational philosophy is listed here. I think it would be a really good idea for you to perhaps write your own educational philosophy before you get started with this course. And I would be interested at the end of our 8 weeks if understanding the use of technology doesn't perhaps challenge you to kind of change some of the traditional philosophy that you might have. Course information, the syllabus, the course web page, of course, is linked right here, and then rubrics for your assignments. Contact information. And then we jump right into week 1, which begins July 3rd. Your readings, you should have a good start on the readings. By Wednesday, 11:59 p.m. you should have a post for the discussion in the discussion forum in eSpire. There are some things linked into the discussion page for you, and wants you to examine the ISTE standards and write a reflective post about the learning that occurred in that reading. And when you post, you should refer to the references, to the materials, to the research, usually by author name or title of the piece, and use citations like you would a research paper, what page you got that from, and things like that. It's a graduate level professional expectation. The readings, I don't know if you noticed on our home page, the textbook should have been listed at the bookstore that we're using technology with classroom instruction that works. It's about a $30 book, and I highly suggest you purchase this. It doesn't make technology the primary focus. It makes pedagogy the primary focus, and how you build rich and deep lessons and design instruction and learning to be the most effective, and then how technology can supplement and enhance and engage. So I really appreciate this book, and I think you'll find that it's not a use it for this course and never look at it again. I actually return to it frequently. So in week 1, because some people don't always have the book right away, I went ahead and linked the introduction, chapter 1, for you to read right here in case you don't have the textbook. And then I have also, I have some resources myself that I think are excellent supplementals and support materials. And one of them is Creatively Teaching the Common Core Literacy Standards with Technology. Literacy is the responsibility of all educators, no matter what subject. If we are not literate, we are not learning. So I love what she has to say about the revolution of the Common Core and what it's done in the classroom, and I think it's worth the read. Supplementals are here as well. In week 1, we're going to dive into Dr. Pendentura, who is the designer of the SAMR model, and that is a 4-step process for technology integration, starting simple and growing complex. It's a brilliant concept. People use it everywhere, and I want you to be able to explore that and understand it over the next several weeks. Continuing in week 1, there are also videos for you to watch, take some notes, reflect, think about, and there are his Dr. Pendentura's SAMR videos. You will be responsible for understanding what SAMR is and why it's important to think about integration in that way. Your discussion posts are also here weekly. The initial post, you're to choose between prompt 1 or 2. And your initial post is due on Wednesday, and then your subsequent replies are due on Wednesday. Or, I'm sorry, on Sunday. Week 1 artifact is the first one for our purposes in the first week is just a literary review to see that you kind of have understood the materials that are given to you and that you're examining the purpose of SAMR and Bloom's and those kinds of connections. It gives you some ideas for what to write in that particular literature review and reflection. And then we'll move on to week 2, where you'll follow that same process down the left side where you do the readings, you watch the videos, you collaborate with your peers, have discussions, challenge, quantify, qualify, ask each other difficult questions about what they think or why they think certain things. And then week 2 artifact, we begin what will become a whole project for the course. And my intention for this course, so my goal for this course is to not only ask you to think about how to incorporate excellent instructional strategies to enhance your lessons, but also to show you how technology makes that happen. And in order for you to really make sense of that and to the knowledge to be usable, we are going to take a unit that you have previously designed, and the 2 places that this probably could come from, Dr. Doolittle's instructional course where you had the Understanding by Design or the Backwards Design unit that you created for her. You can use that. You can actually reuse that unit. Or the literature course that you had to do a 5-day lesson. So in week 2, you're going to find that original lesson and upload it into Google. We're going to use everything Google. You'll upload that into Google and you'll begin to think about how we're going to redesign that unit. And this has pretty specific instructions about how you're going to add columns and rows, and that your columns are going to either be by day and your rows are going to be the instruction, the student learning, and the assessment. But this gives you a framework for beginning the redesign. You'll talk about SAMR and how SAMR and Bloom's can be utilized within your lesson to start revolutionizing what you're doing. And then I also provided you some examples here of what a completed unit redesign might look like. And these are actually recreated in Google Slides. And so they took this document where it was a working document where we made our adjustments, we typed in the learning and the expectations, and then as they were redesigning on paper, they were also creating in a tool for instruction. And in that tool, not only is the instruction there, but also the expectations for student learning, the linked tools, the linked resources and materials, and it's all in one place in a Google Slide. Google Slides is not the only place we have to work, but there are others, and we'll get to that. The last thing I'd like to show you is creating the folders and the documents and things that we'll be using in Google. So when you have a Google account, in the upper right corner next to the sign in, there are these 9 boxes. So when you click these 9 boxes, you get this drop down. And if you hit Drive, your entire Google Drive should just open up for you. My first suggestion is to create new, and you're going to create a folder that says Ed 728 and then your name so that I can find it easily. Once you've created that, it'll pop up here as a folder. You can also color code these so they're easy to find, and you'll double click on it to open it. And before you do anything else, go ahead and share this folder. You can share it with me at rsmith@usd348.com, and then also the secondary email address that I gave, which is my husband's generic Gmail. And if you share those with me directly, it gives me access to edit, to move things, to arrange things for you. And once the course is done, it's yours. I won't ever touch it again unless you ask me to. So now this entire folder and everything you put in it is already shared with me. That doesn't mean that you don't follow the directions to copy and paste URLs and put them into assignments in eSpire. I think I have 28 students this summer, and if I had to go in to each and every one of your files and try to find what you did for the week, it would not be effective. So here we're in this folder, and I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm simply going to name it Discussion Prompts. And I encourage you, when you choose the discussion prompt for the week, to copy and paste it into a new document. And so I just opened the folder Discussion Prompts, and I'm going to open a new doc. And in here I'll just type in whichever prompt. I'll copy and paste the prompt into the doc, and then I will I'll type my prompt here and then copy and paste it into eSpire. eSpire is a web-based program. It can possibly crash or disappear while you're using it, and to avoid all that frustration, I would just keep it all right here, copy paste it into the assignment, you're done. So this is kind of how you use Google Docs, Google Slides, get a folder going for the course. I would download any materials that I have provided for you that you've used. You can save the pedagogy wheel, you can save Dr. Pendentura's website, you can, all sorts of things you can start downloading into this folder for access later. A lot of URLs and articles and resources that you might want to save, readings, etc. And as you create either a Google Slide or a Google Site, a Google Site is what our course is embedded in. If you choose to create instructional materials through those tools in Google, you will also open them in your class folder, and then it's just all right there. You can always move them if you forget to do that in the beginning. If we get to week 2 or week 3 and you guys need a little bit more information about how to start creating a unit redesign, shoot me an email. I'd be more than happy to give you a secondary video and kind of problem solve and troubleshoot if we have any of those particular issues. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing what your personal interests are and what areas you choose to kind of learn and redesign your unit with. And I hope that you find some interesting things to work with, tools to work with, and find some really important contributions that technology can have to education today. I look forward to working with you.